There we go. Let's see. Yes, day 5. So I will, no, maybe day 6.
Eric, I changed the date on your chapter 2 review worksheet from Sunday until Monday, just
Sure.
because we didn't, like, we told them, okay, so you guys, last night we talked about it, and we talked about, we need to ask Eric about the chapter 2 review worksheet. And we did talk this morning, and it was like how I kind of told you that will be, those pages will be something. So those are pages 486 to 489 in your course pack that you will do outside of class. But you can ask questions on it. So I changed that due date from today, or from Sunday until Monday. So Monday night, so that Eric would have, like, if you have questions on it, that you could do it over the weekend, and that you would have an opportunity to ask questions on Monday about that chapter 2 review worksheet. Eric and I both agree that, you know, we're doing a lot of worksheets with you in class, which is great, but we don't want you guys to get to the midterm and final and you're used to us doing worksheets with you, and you're throwing a midterm and say, good luck, now you do it all your own. So the chapter 2 review worksheet, the review worksheets are going to kind of be like a breaker in, where we want you guys to try these on your own, but you can still ask questions. So that's kind of like a stepping stone to the midterm and the final. So we want you to try that over the weekend. And then on Monday, if you have questions on it, you can wait to submit it until Monday, just, you know, to, you know, reassure that maybe if you have a couple questions. And you guys, if you have something that you have a question on for tomorrow, if you do anything on it, ask away tomorrow. But I did change that due date, Eric. I thought about it, and I thought, yeah.
I totally agree with it. And if you do super terrible, no, I'm not gonna, well, I was gonna say, if you do super terrible, maybe you can redo it and resubmit it. But let's pretend I didn't say that. Because then
I heard it. You guys, I'm your witness. I heard that.
Okay, awesome.
It's gonna be on recording.
It's on recording.
No,
that's right. He's really got it bad now.
I'll go fix that. It's fake news. So let's everyone go to day 3. Oh wait, first, are there any questions that anyone has about anything before I start going crazy over here?
They are actually feeling comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, then get to the chapter 2 project. That was day 5. And let's everyone click this link thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this project together. This one and the next one.
Okay, where is this at again?
So under modules and day 5. I kind of want to reorganize everything so it's weeks, because days mess me up.
I agree. I think weeks would be better.
It's day 3. I'm wrong. It's day 3. So that's actually tonight. Oh, and we're picking the chapter 2 project 1. So you click that. You can also get it under assignments, I think. And then at the very top, there's this open.
Eric, they don't have access to the assignments, just to let you know. That's so that's blurred, that's hidden. I said the same thing the other day, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's hidden.
What if I make it visible? Would that?
I don't think we can.
Oh, okay.
I tried.
Yeah. So, okay. So is everyone here? Because we got to do something to this first. No worries.
No, I'm not there. Right,
Day 3.
What? Okay.
So under the modules, you're going to day 3.
Okay, hang on.
Yep. Slow me down.
Okay, I'm here. I didn't scroll down far enough. I got it. Oh, shit. Okay.
One thing you could do is the collapse all, and then it makes it easier to get to that module. Uh-oh. And then open up day 3. What are you guys doing?
All right. Chapter 2, project 1.
Excellent. You should see this. Now you can't. Hang on a second. So what you want to do here, we can't edit this, so you need to click File in the top left corner. And if you have a Gmail drive, you could make a copy. Or what we did this morning mostly is do the download in Microsoft Word.
Most
I
of you
can-
will want to download in Microsoft Word. I'll just tell you that.
And you could upload this to your OneDrive if you wanted to, whatever. So we need that open like that. Then you need to.
Okay,
get
I'm
that-
not seeing that. I don't know where to find that. I'm
Let me
looking
go-
under,
You got the chapter 2 project thing here, right?
I went to modules, day 3, Wednesday, assignments due, chapter 2, project 1, and then I chapter 2, project 2, but it's where I
Well-
submit it.
So when you're in this spot, there's this thing, that big this link deal. That's what you need to click.
Okay, hang on. Click what?
So when you've opened the chapter 2 project 1, the place where you can submit or wherever.
Oh,
is.
this link, this link. Okay.
Yes, that thing, this link.
Oh, God, I feel like such an idiot now.
Oh, no,
Okay,
you're good. It's okay. We've all been there.
Okay, so mine is saved to drive, it says.
So you can, well, once you open that, you can do, you go to File in the top left corner.
Right.
Yes, you can add, save to your drive. You can download the Microsoft.
I'm gonna
Word.
down. Yeah.
You can make a copy. I think downloading the Word is probably the easiest. So then that's just open. And we don't need that for the next thing, because then you need to get to my stat lab.
So you
So
guys,
sign-
I showed them last night how to get to StatCrunch.
Oh, so get the StatCrunch, however you get there. We can
So
write.
log into your Pearson account. Remember, we showed you.
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
Eric, you don't have StatCrunch open.
I don't, I'm behind. I found out that my oldest daughter is being mean to my youngest daughters.
Oh, yeah. So you remember you can just go down to StatCrunch in your course.
Open StatCrunch.
Excellent. Now, we don't need to open StatCrunch. This
For right now.
Because what
Okay.
we're going to do is we're going to go to data sets or data sets.
Okay. Oh. Should I go back?
So I'll go back to, so from the main like homepage, there's this rectangle on the far left called data. And we want to click data sets. And then you just get all these different data sets. I'm wondering if there's anything Lego in here. Lego prices, how have I not seen this before?
My screen does not look like that.
It does, yours, you
Mine
guys,
does not either.
No, this is.
Did y'all
totally-
click data set?
I don't even have that option to do that.
Did you log into StatCrunch?
they probably hit the gold button.
Does it look like this?
Yeah,
Good. In the top left corner, click the StatCrunch word.
okay, click StatCrunch Word, okay.
And then it'll take
Okay.
you right back to here, which is the homepage.
Okay,
Yeah, mine doesn't look like that at all. Nothing at all like that.
okay,
So for me, it was like boxes, but there is like a label for data, and you would read that off down to the second one, which is data sets. It's that first blue one under the data label.
I'm there now.
Good, good. Anyone else? I'm glad
I-
you all are very comfortable telling me where you're at. That's what we need to hear.
I don't know. I see data sets, movie budgets, box office earnings, Thanksgiving 2015. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So so what we're gonna do is pick a data set. Now, we can all pick different ones. So I am a Lego fan and I'm just typing Lego here and I'm gonna pick a data set. I didn't realize they had Lego prices in here. So I'm picking this one, wait, how many data is in there? Size, I'm gonna pick this big one. So pick any data set in there. Now, if we go back to our Word document for our project, it says your data set needs to have at least 2 qualitative variables and 1 quantitative variable. Now, do y'all remember qualitative versus quantitative?
You guys, please tell me that you do.
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on my screen for the Lego, can someone tell me one of these things that is a qualitative variable?
The Lego set name?
Nailed it.
Oh, I totally don't even. I am not seeing your screen. This is, your screen is all cut off for me. I don't see it. I'm just really.
So it's, yes, I'm glad you're sharing that. So this is a challenging setup when I'm sharing my screen and you're trying to look at your screen. So let's see, what are some fixes we can work on? Not that.
I'm trying just to look at your screen and it's cut off and I just don't know where.
Well, that's how you're looking at how your screen is in Zoom, because you control what you get to see on your how much of my
Why
screen
am
you
I
get to see.
Aggie, are you using a phone or your computer?
My laptop, but I don't know why I'm so zoomed in. I don't need to be. And then I just don't know.
Yeah,
what-
go up in the right-hand corner and
Speak-
change your view.
I've tried that. Okay, so standard side-by-side speakers, side-by-side gallery, swap video and shared screen or full screen.
I've got shared by side speaker.
I have mine on side by
Oh,
side.
that's even worse. I just don't see, I mean, if I'm supposed to see this big table, I see some things. I see theme, type, rating, exclusive and hard to find. That's the only thing I can see right now.
Weird.
So I don't know
Do
how
you
to
have
get,
your screen in full mode, or do you have it to where it's cut in the screen in half?
Minimized. Do you have it
I've tried
minimized?
both
Where
ways.
you have,
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
tried both ways. Okay, wait a minute. Zoom ratio, hang on.
Ah, that might
Window.
work.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
This,
Okay.
this might be better. Okay, Lego set numbers. I think it's
Nailed it.
okay.
Good. Okay, so we got a qualitative that was Lego set name. Letters are always qualitative. They're never quantitative. Is
Right.
Lego set number qualitative or quantitative?
Quantitative.
Qualitative.
No, qualitative because they are assigned to that specific Lego set.
So for the Lego nerds in here, right? This is the name of the set. 75821 is its unique name. So yes, I asked that to trick you all a little bit, that be careful with numbers. Sometimes they're just a name.
It's like their
Um,
social security number, right, Eric?
It's an identifier.
Yeah.
It's like
I
that
don't,
Lego social security number.
yes. So again, remember we talked about the context and how you would have to know, it would be helpful to know these things about Lego to understand better. I'm not going to give, hopefully the problems I give you, the context isn't as terrible. So our job is to first, who cares about your name, say what data set you chose. So the name of the data set for me is Lego Pieces, or Prices, I guess I can read. Yours is maybe different if you pick something else that might be more interesting to you. And you are just going to type that in that spot there for what data set did you pick. Now, if you saw what I did, I used my mouse and I selected that thing and then I right clicked it and said copy. Then I opened my Word document to the spot where I needed to put it. I right clicked again and I picked the paste option. And there it was. But you can type it too. So then we are to choose a qualitative variable and make a bar chart. Now, these qualitative variables are going to be, these first two are going to be awful because they're all unique. There is no Lego set that has the exact same name, I don't think. So I'm going to pick theme because you can see there's repeats. And my bar graph is going to be the number of sets that are the theme Angry Bird and the number of sets that are the theme architecture. And it's going to be a nice picture of how many things are there. So yes,
Nicole.
pick your own data set. You can do the same one as me if you want, but you pick whatever you want. There's thousands of data sets in there. Just
Are we supposed to be filling these out as we go?
Yes.
yeah,
There's
it's
no
a
way.
good idea.
There's no way I can do this. I cannot.
Then
keep
that's
up.
okay.
There's
You
no
can
way.
go
Then
back
don't,
and
yeah, don't
watch
fill it out. Just,
You can, if this is being recorded, you can go back and watch it again and go through it slower.
Well, then
Yeah.
I just don't even want to. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm
Then
almost
just watch.
in tears.
Peg, just watch, and then you can go back and do it again.
You got
just-
this,
I'll be
Peg.
right back. My sister turned.
Yeah, just watch it then.
so I'm picking theme as my qualitative variable. Yeah, definitely, Peg. You're right. If you're frustrated to the point that like nothing's happening,
Just
do what you
watch.
can to, yeah, just watch or get a quick drink of something or some push-ups. I always find
Yeah,
a
do
great
some
thing.
push-ups.
Push-ups
Yeah, that'll
to-
really calm you down.
to help. Yeah, whatever gets you back to your center, your happy place.
Okay, because I'm not there right now. So I'm just, you're gonna have to give me a minute. I'll watch.
Yes, you take a minute. So I'm just stating which variable I chose.
So we can pick any of the variables.
Any variable except that it has to be qualitative.
Qualitative, okay.
And to make it a more interesting bar graph, you want a qualitative variable that has like repeated items, but it doesn't matter. You might just have a kind of a boring bar graph. So the next thing is to get a graph of theme. So I've decided I want theme. Now I'm going to get the bar graph. Luckily, the menus up here in StatCrunch, it literally says graph. So that's helpful because we know we're trying to draw a graph. And then it says bar plot, which maybe it should have said bar graph, but whatever. And this, we're going to learn about this later, the difference between with data and with summary. Or you're going to see it a lot later. We will be doing with summary for a hypothesis testing and confidence intervals a bunch of times. But when it says with data, if you have stuff in the spreadsheet, that means it's data. So that variable theme, all of those words are the data, which is why we're using the with data button. So click that. And then you've got this big menu thing that you now have to figure out. And I agree that this is super confusing the first couple times you mess with it, because I don't know that I've ever seen software quite like this. So give yourself some grace. The first thing you should see at the very top of almost every single one of these will be the select columns section. And the darkened inside is what you get to pick from. And then it'll show up if you select it on the right side in the clear. So I clicked the Lego set number and it showed up over here. That's not the one I want. I wanted the theme one. Watch what happens when I click theme. Lego set went away. So each time you click, it's going to change what shows up over here unless you control click. Then it will select multiples. Okay, so that's a kind of a little thing that can get people super frustrated because you keep trying to select things and you have to control select. So I want to go back to theme. That's the one I want to do. Do we need to pause here? Has everyone, anyone got a question?
It's, yes, so the select column, we are selecting what we chose for our qualitative variable.
Yes.
Okay.
Jessica, is your left side grayed out? Yeah, like when you click it, it should look grayish or bluish or something. And the left side should look kind of grayed out, I think. Oops, I keep changing things. What you really want to look at is what's on the right, on the clear side. Oh, have you already done the graph? So, okay, so once you've done that, we're done. Then you click compute. And you should get this. So let me start from the very beginning.
Thank you. That would be
Yes.
helpful.
That might help. Let's pretend I didn't do any of that. So the first thing is you go to the graph menu. And then the very first option is the one we want to do, the bar plot. And we want to do the one that says with data, because that's what we have in the spreadsheet. Thousands and thousands of data values. When you click that, you get this dialog box. The bar plot with data is what it should be titled. And the first thing you have to do, or you should do, is pick the variable that you wanted to graph. Mine was theme. Yours is whatever it is. It should show up in that list, provided it has values, which it wouldn't show up if it wasn't. Did that help, Jessica? Is that? See who else.
He picked a data set that did not have any qualitative data.
That could.
That's what I'm thinking, maybe.
Oh boy. Okay.
So
Okay.
you guys, if your data set doesn't have qualitative word data, it might not let you pick on it because it just has numbers. And so that's telling you that that would have been quantitative data. And you're trying to do a bar graph, and a bar graph is going to be qualitative data. So it's only going to let you choose qualitative data. No, it doesn't have to be Legos. You don't get any
Yeah.
extra credit for doing Legos.
If you want to be cool, the cool kids pick Lego.
You can choose whatever you want,
Whatever
as
you
long
want.
as it
Yeah.
has two qualitative.
Okay, does everyone have a graph?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to show the one best way to copy this graph. And that is looking at options in the top left corner. Click that. And you'll see this menu that says edit, save, blah, blah, blah. We want to copy it. And then it does this crazy thing. It opens a new thing and it says, right click the image below to copy it. So I'll do that one more time. You go to options. And then you click copy. And it opens up the same window. It's doing something. I don't quite know what it is, but it makes it nicer to copy. You right click it and you click the copy image. Then you sneak back to your worksheet, and that little box under number 4, you right click that and paste it right in there. While you're doing that, I'm going to make sure my daughters are still alive.
Great, Jessica. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. If you're not getting your graph to copy over there. So mainly what you need to make sure you have open right now is your StatCrunch, and you need to have your Word document open. So what you probably needed to do is in your view up in the right hand corner of Zoom is you had to exit full screen. Good, Brianna. Eric just moved over the weekend, so he's in a new house, so the girls are adjusting to a new house, so they're probably
I have to share something at work today. I'm doing like 8-week training on this new job I just started.
Yep.
And used algebra today. We had to round to the nearest 10th and all this. I said, oh, I can do that.
awesome. Awesome. See, math really is useful
Yes.
in everyday life.
Mhm.
Cindy, I'm sorry. Can you tell me again what you do after options? I've had a long day at work, so I'm
Yep.
struggling
So
to
you do
focus today.
options and then copy. Oh, Eric's back.
I'm back, sorry.
Okay.
They're still, so yeah, options and copy, and then this new
Okay.
thing shows up.
Okay.
And then on that, you right click and
Okay.
copy image.
I can't get it to go on to my Word document. I've copied it a couple different ways. I'm just gonna go back and watch this because
One
I'm-
thing real quick, Peg, at the top, does it say enable editing for the Word document?
I don't know, hang on.
Because I've seen that happen.
Got it, okay, hang on, request edit access, that's what it said.
So what you need to do is go to File and then Download.
Oh, I
then-
did already.
So then you need to go to the Word document that's somewhere down here, because it sounds like what you're in is the online version document. What do you call this? The Google Docs document.
I am. This is absolutely insane. I can't find it. I won't be able to find it, so just forget it.
Okay, well, you're all right. Well, I can help you individually too, later if you'd like, for sure. All right, so good news is you get to do this again. For question 5, we're choosing a second qualitative variable, but this time we're doing a pie chart. And it is all
Close
the
out
same.
of these bar graphs, right? We can close out those little pop-up.
Yeah, you can get rid of all those. And they're still here if you want to reopen them, but whatever. If you copied it in, you're done with it. Don't need it anymore. So now what you do is you go to graph, and instead of going to bar plot, oh boy, you're going to pie chart. And then same thing, we've got a data set. We're going to click with data. I don't know, does this say something? It says pick a second one. Like, I guess if it's the exact same one, it wouldn't bother me. I'm gonna pick type this time for mine, so I am picking a different one. And we don't have to worry about any of the other little options in here. We can mess with stuff if we wanted to, but we're gonna click compute, and you should get a nice, pretty something. That's
So
whatever
you
you're
guys,
looking for.
question number 5, all you're doing is typing in the name of your column, like you did for number 3. And then in number 6 is where you're going to copy your pie chart.
So mine says, whoa, lots of unique numeric values for day. Want to turn on
So
Vinning
you're
for this.
using a quantitative. Well, it's either, yes, it's either a quantitative variable, or you picked a qualitative variable that's numeric, where there's just 1,000 different numbers. Like if I go back and I pick Lego set number, it's going to say that to me too, because
Yeah, that's, mhm,
there's going to be a slice for every single option.
okay.
So what it's going to do is it's going to bend them and say, well, I'll click it and you can see what happens. So what it did is it picked all the numbers between 10,000 and 20,000 and counted how many of those are there.
Mhm.
So that will happen.
But if that does happen, it's okay.
That's
Should
okay.
I pick a different variable?
What's the name of your variable?
Day? There's just 31 slices.
Right. I mean, it's boring. It's okay. It's whatever. The goal here is making sure, one, you understand the difference between qualitative and quantitative. So you're experiencing those variables. And then number two is messing around with StatCrunch in these graphs.
Okay.
Now, we need to repeat the same process we did with the bar graph. We want to click Options and Copy so that we can then make a copy of this picture and dump it into the Word document that you're going to upload to Canvas. And I do fully understand how technology, you know, the online classes, it's like, it makes, you're learning technology and stats all at once. That's a lot.
So how did you say you get the pie chart to,
Just go to your
analysis?
graph, Nicole, and then go down to the second option, which is pie chart.
but did you say if the pie chart has a lot of, small ones, you could, did you say something about that, or did I miss something?
Did you, what was your, what was the name of your column that you picked?
Race?
It could
But
be.
But it's for superheroes, that's why.
Nice.
That's why.
What was it again? Race for superheroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too, well, I guess, are they talking like Gamorrean and like whatever Loki is and like all the different aliens? I don't know. I'll do another one here, minifigures. I think this is the number of minifigures in a set. You girls need to stop fighting it. And again, don't worry too much about how the pie chart looks. If you can get to
Okay.
a pie chart, awesome. And then
Okay.
you want to copy, do the options and copy
Okay.
image and dump it in there. Yeah. Oh, I
Okay.
already have one. Then this next one, you do have to get the right variable, because you can pick a quantitative variable for the pie chart and it'll do that thing. But for this one, we're going to do a histogram. And one of the nice things with the histogram is that it will not allow you to select a qualitative variable because those options won't show up. So let's do that one. Same spot. Histogram is a type of graph. So under the graph menu, go ahead. Click histogram. I'll pause there. I do go too fast, so you all just shout at me when I'm flying. So I'm going to click histogram, shoop, and we should get the histogram dialog box. And the list of columns here, they will only allow variables that are numerical. Now notice my Lego set number is in here, but I know that's qualitative. StatCrunch can't distinguish between numbers that are qualitative and numbers that are quantitative. So we have to be careful. So I'm going to go with price. And all we have to do is compute. We can do some other things. You talked about the mean and the median last night. So if you want to see that on your histogram, you can click those down here under markers. Why don't I just put one on there and compute? And here's my histogram. Now this is a nice skew to it. So I actually want to be able to see the median too, because that's part of what we're talking about tonight. Now you don't need the green and red lines on yours. It's okay if those don't show up. All you need is the histogram.
How did you get the green and red though?
I scrolled down in that menu and there was this markers option, and you can change the colors too. Like you can do all kinds of things. And I just selected both mean and median. There's other things you can mess with if you want to, but no need. And there's your nice graph. So you go back to your Word document where your project is housed. I skipped on that last one. You tell which variable you chose. I chose price. And you copy and paste in your histogram and you're done with this project. But I want to show you how to upload it. So options, copy image, and paste. Anyone got any questions on any of this?
I have a question. It's kind of just a saving the file question.
Yep.
So when I first opened the document, it kicked it into WordPad instead of Microsoft Word. I have to go in and fix that in my computer. But what format do I save it in to be able to upload it correctly for you?
Perfect segue. PDF files, what you need to use. So, and that's what for the worksheets that you're taking pictures of and uploading, or if you're writing on a PDF and uploading, they need to be PDFs so that it makes it easier for us to read them, I think. So what you want to do is click the file button and then the save as button. You all are most welcome. I'm happy to do this step by step for sure. So a couple things to note. First off, this thing right here is the folder that your file is going to be saved in. You need to know where that is so that you can find the file. Then you can change the name by clicking in here and say whatever you want. And then this next dialog box, you click it and you should have all these options and you want to select PDF.
So mine is not giving me that option.
Not giving you a PDF option.
No.
Let's see. I'm going to make it so you can share your screen. Do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, are you still in WordPad or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know how to flip it over into like Microsoft Word.
That's going to be the problem. Let me share my screen. I know, baby. Let me share my screen again.
Hey,
And
can I say something really quick?
Please,
I'm
yeah.
in the same boat. I have WordPad here at home, but I don't know if you have another option to go somewhere that would have WordPad on it, but I do at my office. And so I'm just saving it, scanning it over emailing it to myself, and then we'll submit it. But I don't know if you have that option to use it somewhere else.
Well, if you can log into your email account, you can open this in Word in your email account. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's cool.
So it's on your OneDrive. So if you get into your email thing, yes, if you got it all done, turn it in. Yep, I'm going all the way to the turn in part to see if we can to help you all get through that, because I hate the barrier that technology ultimately is. So when you log into your email thing, in the top left are these little like thingies, and you can open Word documents here. You want to click OneDrive. Okay, just a second, Peanut. And here is where you can upload the file you downloaded from here, from your StatCrunch thing. So if you click the upload button, you can find, and then you'd have to find the file where you saved it. So I think for me, it was in downloads. Here's where that Word document was. If it's the Microsoft Word document type, it should show up there, even if the only way you could open it on your computer was a WordPad. And then don't forget, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said, okay, let me mess with it.
Okay. Don't forget that you can also download Word onto your computer, onto your home computer, because you paid for it with your course fees. If you just—
That's the thing, I have it. I just don't know why it opened the
Oh.
Word pad instead of the Microsoft Word. Like I have Office on my computer, so I'm not sure why it opened that versus the other.
And you, right, because you did this Microsoft Word document download, right? From the
No,
Google Suite.
when I bought my computer this year, I bought the program.
But I mean, when you opened the chapter 2 project and you went to file and download, you selected Microsoft Word as the download.
Yeah, it was Microsoft Word and then it was DOX and then it just kicked it into Microsoft WordPad.
Nice, Peg, you're doing it. Sorry, I'm just reading through the chat. Yes, so I'm guessing what's happening, Sarah, for you is that somehow you clicked a setting that made files automatically open in that version. And undoing that, I would have to Google because I don't know how. Okay, so let me go through the saving as a PDF and uploading as a PDF so we can all see that, and then we'll open the chapter 2 project number 2, and we're going to do that one as well.
Eric, can I ask you a question really quick?
Please.
I'm sorry to go backwards, but what was number 2 supposed to be on the Word doc?
What data set did you choose? That number 2?
Yes.
So that's just the name of the data set that you picked. So for me, that name was right. It's right here. It was Lego prices.
Oh, okay. And so number 1 was
Literally your name.
your okay. I had a number 1 in my data set. So or my data. Got
And
it.
because you're uploading this to your Canvas thing, you don't even need your names on there because it's attached to you.
Skip number 1.
Yeah, so you can skip number 1 or
That
make
was
up
the
a name.
hardest one for me tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So, we were going to save this as a PDF. So I was going through that mess, the save as, keeping track of where the folder is that it's going, selecting this. Yes, it has to be in Word in order to do that. So I'm clicking save, and I know because I saw there it was going to downloads, I can open up my file explorer thing or whatever it's called, go to my downloads folder, and I can see there's my PDF. Some people like make a folder that says stats class PDFs and always save it to that folder, and then you know where it is. There is a way to pin things here if you know how to do that. I'd be happy to sit down with you all and help you work through any of that. But what I wanted to do is then go back into Canvas at the place where we wanted to submit this file to make sure everyone's good with that. So let me skip to student view. And we're going to modules. Oh, no, that was right there. Oh, too late. So chapter 2, project 1, under day 3. I need to submit the assignment, and there's an upload button you can click here, or there's a drag file here thing, square. That's a square, right? Maybe a rectangle. So if I open up my file, so I'm at downloads, I can just click and hold and drag that file into this spot. But it has to be a PDF. If it's anything else, it won't accept it. When I let go, I should see this bar going here. There's this file listed that I uploaded and this green check mark saying, yes, it's there, hooray. If you don't like that one, click delete. It's gone. It gives you another upload option. If you're not into dragging, click this and it opens up your file folder find thing, whatever it's called. And then you just go to the folder where it is. For me, it was this downloads. Here's the file I wanted to upload. Click open, and it opens it up and puts it in there. How we doing?
That is right, Peg. So
Yes.
Brianna was asking how to save it as a PDF. So go to the file, your project, your Google Doc, not your Google, your Microsoft Word document, and do a file save as.
I
File here.
found out what my problem was, is I was trying to get data sets that didn't have enough data in it, didn't have qualitative and quantitative. So that's how I got so far behind and so frustrated, but now I'm back.
And you should celebrate yourself for a moment because you overcame massive frustration
Whew.
and powered through. Instead of taking a shot of whiskey, you calmed yourself down and here you are.
We
So
don't know
awesome.
that she didn't take a shot of
Maybe,
whiskey.
yeah, how do we know?
No,
I know.
no, I'm drinking tea, but I will admit,
Okay.
I cried a lot.
Tea
There
works
was
well
tears.
too.
Yeah, there was
Tears are
tears.
good too. It's a great emotional release. Yes. Let's see. Did we get who? Oh, you got who was asking the Brianna?
Brianna,
Did you see that and feel good about the save as PDF? There's this little dialog box here where you select the type as PDF. And then click save. Remember, you gotta make sure you keep track of the folder you're saving it in. And if you click that, things happen. So we're gonna do this all again, and maybe I should go see if my girls are still alive again and let you try the second one. So leave student view. Oh, I should have stayed there, whatever. So we're going to modules. We're still in day 3. Oh, Canvas, come on. And you're clicking chapter 2, project 2. Awesome, Brianna. Good. Same thing up here. Click this link. It's opening up a Google document. It'll open it in a new window. Here it is. Looks fairly similar. We're going to go to File and Download. And we want to download it as a Microsoft Word document. You can download it as a PDF, but I don't think you can dump things in it. So you don't want to do that.
you can't edit it, no.
Yeah, unless you've paid for the Adobe stuff that's like $100 or $200. So I'm clicking Microsoft Word. A download should start. My computer is defaulted to open Word documents in Word. There's probably this protected view thing that maybe we've all gotten past. We enable and we're ready to roll. This is the same beginning prompt. Find a publicly available data set on StatCrunch. So we're going to that same spot we were at in StatCrunch. If you can stick with the one, well, you got to pick a different one this time. Well, be careful. It has to be quantitative variable. So this is just a quantitative variable. And we're just picking one. So same thing, 1A is, hey, what data set are you picking? Let me see. Let's do salaries. So let's do baseball salaries because no one cares about professors. I don't know any professors anyways. Am I okay? Oh, yes, here we go. So this has a bunch of qualitative variables and then the one quantitative variable, that's what I needed, salary. It goes all the way back to 1985. Now we're going to use a slightly different graph thing here. We're going to make a histogram, but we're going to use a histogram with sliders applet. So I'm going to show you where to find that. It says there too where to find it. Under the applets menu, you're going to select histograms with sliders. When you click that, you get a very different dialog box. It's just select the columns. Now for me, there's only 2 columns that have numbers in them. There's the year and the salary. So this one's nice because it also only allows quantitative variables in there, although for me, year is qualitative in my opinion for this data set. So I'm clicking salary, I'm clicking compute, and there's my histogram.
Okay, can I just interrupt for a
Yes.
second? When you scroll down on applets, what is the next thing that you're
Histogram with sliders.
histogram with sliders? Okay, got it.
I'll click that again so we can see. And then from there, you're selecting the column that has the quantitative variable you want to mess with. Select that and compute, and you've got it. Now, that's all we need to do because the rest of the project is messing with this. But I want to help you with 2 questions that everyone gets stuck on for this project. So first, we're going to explore what happens if we change the starting point. And first, we have to decide what is the starting point on the histogram. So if you look at mine, it says the starting point is 0. And then I'm only allowed to like change it to like negative values, which is weird because these are salaries. No one is paying the company to play for them. So if you look closely at the starting point of 0, that corresponds to right here, the beginning of the histogram, which is the first bar, this massive tall one. And I'm just going to tell you what this is. This is the lower limit of the first class in a frequency distribution. Now, if you're wondering what in the world is a frequency distribution, I'm glad you asked. Let me remind you. I need to open these anyways. There was a frequency distribution here. The frequency distribution is the table that has these classes, and each class, remember, has the lower limit and the upper limit. And then we have to calculate midpoints and relative frequency and all that mess. So what we're identifying here is that in our histogram, which is simply a graph of a frequency distribution, like we could turn this into a histogram, the starting point is the lower limit of the first class. So let's all type that in for fun. Like little lemmings off the cliff we go. Lower limit of the first class. This value is typically the minimum value in the data set or a number slightly below it. In my case, since it's salaries, 0 would be the minimum salary, but no one's making $0. So the next thing you're doing is what I just did. You're dragging that starting point around and getting 2 different histograms. You're copying them in here and making a comment about the shape. So let's see, here's one. I right click on the graph. Oh, nope, don't do it. Just click copy, options, copy, and then copy image. So you do 2 of those, make some comments. The second thing I want to help you with is bend width. All this is the width of a class. So it's the distance between consecutive lower limits. Like in this one, the width of the class was 5 because the difference between 5 and 0 is 5 units. And between 10 and 5 is 5 units. So when we look here at this bend width, stats and a lot of software packages call the bins, it's the same name as a class. So it's just the class width. And this one has a pretty dramatic effect on the graph, on what it looks like. And remember, the things you're looking for are like symmetric, skewed left, skewed right. And so it might be that depending upon the width of your bin, you might make the shape look different. And we'll learn later that that matters. So the answer here is class width. And again, you're doing, you're making 2 more histograms, messing with that. And then you're making 2 more, one that's terrible and one that's good, and making some comments. How we feeling? Yeah. Okay,
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch this.
well, it is gonna be, get the popcorn, you know, turn the lights down, get fine wine, you're gonna have a good time. Bring someone special along. This is riveting. Okay. Good. So I'm gonna do this more with some more projects in StatCrunch. We're gonna do most of the StatCrunch projects together because it is a mess. And then hopefully you'll all become pros at StatCrunch. And when you take the midterm, you'll be using StatCrunch. That's your way to take the midterm. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is summarize what you learned from 3.1. But do we all need to take like a deep breath?
Eric, if you need to go check on your girls, I can
Let me
answer
do
any
that real
questions they might have.
Yes, let me do that.
I'm thinking of them.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do you guys have any questions about the slider? Notice there's two sliders, one for the starting point and one for the bin width. And you're just moving that slider to take a couple different pictures of what happens when you change your bin width or the class width by moving that slider. So you really can't do anything wrong. You're just moving that bar and just choosing a couple different pictures. And a terrible histogram would be one where you move the bar like all the way down in one direction where you can't even see like that it's being skewed, or you might be able to see only one bar or something. That would be a really terrible graph.
Okay. So are we ready?
So he's going to summarize what we went over last night. And you guys, Eric, I took them 8 minutes after 8 last night.
Can I
I
ask a-
know. It was
Can I
bad.
ask a question?
But they
real
all
quick?
stayed. They all stayed. Every single person stayed.
Go ahead, ask the question.
No, it's okay. You will answer it. You'll go over it.
Okay. You all should thank Cindy. She donated 8 minutes. That was free. You didn't pay for that, and she gave it to you. That's amazing.
I told him I'd probably give them back to them at some point.
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, so the title of this section was Measures of Central Tendency, and it turns out we have three different things that all mean the same thing.
You're good, Brianna. Eric took a break to go check on his daughters.
Yes.
So we're just summarizing 3.1.
Oh, nice. That's fun. I think someone in one of my other classes had their child dump apple juice over their computer, and so they had to buy a new one.
So the other project we're just doing on our own and turning in.
Yeah, and if you need help, I'd be happy to fill it in. Mostly you're just copying in the different things and making a few comments.
Okay.
As long as you make a reasonable comment, you're good. Don't spend hours trying to write essays of things. Couple sentences, life is good. Ugh. Yes. Family learning is the best. So measures of central tendency. This idea, central tendency, is the same phrase as if I said average, which is a word lots of people have heard that can also mean mean, where you add up all the numbers and divide by how many. The one we are going to use more often than not later is the word center. What's the center of the data set? And another idea that goes with this, it's like, what's the typical value or the most common value? That's what we mean when we say center. So like if we talk about the average salary of a baseball player, we're talking about what's the middle value of payments to those players. So the like I said, the one we need to hear the most or keep track of the most later on is center. That's going to come back. And it turns out that there are just 3 types of measurements. Another word we could use here is calculations, sort of. And those 3 things are, as you know, the mean, and it's the arithmetic mean, if that matters. There is a geometric mean, but we don't talk about that in stats. So the mean, the median, and the mode. And these are concepts that are often taught like in high school or elementary. So you may have heard of these before. If you haven't, no worries. Get excited. There are 2 types. There's a type of mean that's calculated from a sample and a type of mean that's calculated from a population. Same thing for the median, same thing for the mode. We have a special symbol for the mean, that's X bar. That's how you say it. There's how you write it. And mu, a Greek letter. We do not have special symbols for median, and we do not have special symbols for mode. So it's just the mean where we have different symbols. Recall that this X bar we also call a statistic because it's calculated from a sample. And we call this mu a parameter because it's calculated from a population. We can use that same language here with the median, you know, the statistic of the median, or the mode based on what it came from. Turns out these 2 measurements are the best. They're the most important ones. They're the ones we're going to see over and over and over. This mode is not that important. StatCrunch will calculate all of these for you, so you don't need any formulas memorized. You don't have to put any formulas on your reference sheet. Don't worry about any of that. Just know how to do it in StatCrunch, and we're going to do that in a second. And oh, awesome. Probably. So then it turns out that there's a best measure of center. Okay, so this is getting a little crowded. And the best measure of center depends on the shape of the data. And we mentioned this, I remember it from this morning, on page 78. There's a nice thing. I'm going to draw that up in a second. It turns out that the mean is the best measure of center or average if the data set is symmetric. And the median is the best measure of center or average or spread, whichever, not spread, shame on me, center or average or central tendency. And that is if there is a skew to the data set. Either left or right, doesn't matter which direction. So on page 78, I should have written this down below. You've got this super nice little organization of this. By section 3.5, we're going to add to that picture everything. So really what you want in your reference sheet is what's in the 3.5 section, but we'll start here. There are the pictorial shapes. So let's see, did we do right? No, we did left first and then right, or did we do right and then left? I don't know. I don't know that it matters. So, ooh, I feel really good about that one. Anyone know which skew that is?
Right.
Good. Skewed right. So let me label these. Skewed right. Now our histograms can look like these curvy things. And that's one way we can note the shape. That's what you're doing in the second project of chapter 2. As you're changing the bin widths, you might be making it look skewed right or skewed left or symmetric. And that's kind of what you're commenting on. Symmetric looks symmetric. Half of the data is above and half below. And then skewed left has more large values than small values. Now there's a connection between the mean and the median. So if we don't have the picture, but we know the mean and the median, if the mean is less greater than the median, and the mean is less than, the median, then we know which skew it is. Cindy helped me out with this morning. Notice that the arrow of the inequality is pointing in the direction of like the flatter side of the thingy.
The tail.
And the tail, there we go. Yes, the tail. That's actually the name of it. Also, what else was I gonna note? Were we gonna note here? There was something. Oh, notice how we have the mean on the left side for each of these. In your textbook or your course pack, for one of them, it has the median on one side. I think it's helpful to write the same statistic or parameter on the same side. And this is the side where the arrows match the tails.
Yeah, we crossed that out.
Okay, you already know that. I'm just repeating what you know. Good. Was there anything else I wanted to add here? I think this is it. Oh, you do encounter the word outliers. I forgot to tell them this to the morning group. We are going to
No,
come
they
back.
told you. They brought it up.
They did. Yes, they did. Yes. This, for now, we're just going to say this is a number that's far from the data set. We're going to have some numerical measures to calculate this. Oftentimes there's an outlier in one of these skews, the skewed things. So it's a data value far from the others, either high or low. All right, so that's chapter 3.
3.1.
That's chapter 3.1. So let's calm down
We
here.
wish that was chapter 3.
So we just go to chapter 10.
Yeah, let's just go to the end.
Should we just take the final and call it good? Okay. Now, what we want to do is practice this. So let's start with the StatCrunch part for calculating the mean, the median, and the mode. So we're going to pull up the 3.1 worksheet number 2, which is the one you're turning into me on Sunday. It is page 492.
Oh.
Free passes on the final. Yeah. I don't know that I can do that. I'll gladly record how you do. Okay. Are we good? Should I pause a little longer or?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
First, let's note what we're talking about here. We have a bunch of variables related to the top grossing movies from 2000 to 2021. So for each year, they picked the movie that made the most money. And then we looked at the year that movie was made, that it won that title, if we call it that. We look at the name of the movie, the genre, the rating, the distributor, et cetera, et cetera. We can quick do the modes. Do y'all remember how to calculate the mode? Calculate, I should say. I'll put that in quotes. It's the thing repeated the most. When I look at the genre column, let's see what that answer is. Yes, most frequent. Good. So which of these genres is winning the most frequently? Looks like superhero, which isn't too surprising. What was it? Did you all remember that the Avengers Endgame? It's the highest of all time, and it beat Avatar, which was like the two producers or whatever directors kind of had a little thing going on.
Mhm.
And then there was something how like Avengers came out again. I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So the genre here is superhero. That's the mode. And that's the measure of center for that variable. And it's the only measure because it's qualitative. We can't find the mean genre. How do you feel about the distributor?
Walt Disney.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, doesn't that jump out real fast?
Mm.
Looks like Monopoly. And then the rating, not surprising either, right? PG-13. That's how you can have the most. You're still going to get the teens and also the adults. Bad Boys for Life? I have no idea what that is. Is that a remake of the Bad Boys movie? Is there a Bad Boys? I don't know. Okay, so now let's get to this. What we are asked to calculate is the mean number of tickets sold and then the median number of tickets sold. It's a quantitative variable and it's this column. And what we need to do is type all of these numbers into a column in StatCrunch. Well, Peg, and now we all need to go to the theaters. I haven't seen some of these. I've seen some of these. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's, you know, we've seen that, right? And who hasn't seen Harry Potter? Oh,
Oh, my word.
No, no Harry Potter, but yes, I saw How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
okay. I was in high school in these days. Here's where I graduated. Okay. Oh, you're missing out. Harry Potter. I don't know. They weren't that great. So get to your StatCrunch thing, and it might be nice to have a blank spreadsheet. Just so we're like not in getting ourselves all crazy. I really liked the books. It looks like I got logged out. Did I? No, I'm good. Okay, there I am. And what you want to do is type in those things. This is a tedious part that it would be nice if we could just copy and paste, but because this is a PDF, we can't.
Did everybody find their blank, how to get into StatCrunch?
Mhm. I can get into StatCrunch, but how do you get a blank one?
Okay,
Yeah.
so did you hit your gold?
Oops.
Oh,
Remember, we go down to the second one to the StatCrunch website.
This thing, but I got signed out. So I got to, if you got
I'm
in
there. I can open StatCrunch, I guess. Is that what it
Oops.
does? Oh, yeah, got it. Open
Nice,
StatCrunch, got it. I'm there.
I don't know why I stopped sharing. Good. Why is it? Okay. Yes, so this gold thing, right? If you got logged out, just log back in. And then someone pointed out, if you click in the top in the column, you can rename things. Sometimes that's nice. So we're doing tickets sold. And then just start typing. Now I did this thing where I have the split screen so I can see both. Which is helpful, I think. Oops, I screwed that up.
Okay, I did not get to the blank screen. I can't get to it.
Have you gotten here?
Yeah.
Do you see this gold thing in the middle that says Open StatCrunch?
Yes.
Click that.
Okay.
Yay. Good.
So, and then were tickets sold?
That will be, yours will say VAR1. He just changed that.
Yeah, it started this. Whoops. It started out like that. Oh,
Okay.
And you can leave it VAR1. You don't
Yeah.
have to change it to tickets sold. It just helps you remember what numbers you're actually typing in.
Okay.
For the midterm, you're going to have a bunch of data sets. I am going to type them up and they will be saved somewhere in StatCrunch so that you won't have to type anything in. Most likely what I'll do is I'll put all the data sets in one spot and it'll just say fall 22 Eric Brown midterm exam data sets. And it'll be a column, everything will, I might do two, I don't know, we'll see. So everything will be in there so that you don't have to type things and your job is just to do the calculations. Yeah, Mary, I agree with you. Sometimes I think it helps to type the label up here, so that then when you're doing the calculations, you can see what you're grabbing. I think it is helpful. But again, you don't have to. Shall I pause some more for you all to type?
Yes, please.
It's nice to have a number pad. Go ahead.
Do you have 47 as number one? Because I can't
do.
see number one. Okay.
Oh,
I didn't have it scrolled up to the top, yeah. And then if you have your worksheets, you'd want to go to 492, and that's where all these numbers are coming from.
Okay.
I'll redo this. For those that have it typed in, go to stat, summary stats, columns. I'll reopen that and pause there too. So I don't want to rush anyone. Should I wait a little longer or get going?
Okay.
Okay.
What do we do next?
So go to stat, the stat menu, which is between data and graph. Go to the summary stats row. We're going to be here a lot. All of chapter 3 is done in summary stats. And go to columns, because we entered the variable as a column, not as a row. And you'll get a thing that looked like the bar graph and the pie chart, and you'll see the select columns. And here you'll see why it was nice to name it, because we can see the variable we want to calculate things with, tickets sold. Make sure you click that. And then you could ignore the where and the group by. There's this thing labeled statistics. So almost every single software package has programmed in there the word statistics or statistic instead of parameter, right? That's what this is referring to. It's saying, here's a calculation from a sample. It would be a parameter if we knew that the data set was a population. So just don't let this word take over your brain. Know that it could be a statistic or it could be a parameter based on the data set. In here, there's all the different types of calculations, more than what we even need. Like here's mode, here's sum, which will add up all the numbers. That's important for a worksheet you're going to be doing. Here's the median that we need, and we also need the mean. Now look at what's happening. It's not selecting both as I keep clicking, just like I mentioned before. So don't drive yourself mad trying to make it click it. Remember to hold control. Oops, don't hold control while you're scrolling. Hold control and click the second one so that you can get two things in there. And then click compute. And you'll see this little dialog box open up. Now, you'll see that same options as before, and you can copy and paste this into something, which will come in handy a little later. But here it is. Now I have the wrong mean. I clearly typed something in wrong because this is not the mean I remember from before. So if you have a different number, you're probably right. I got to look through my data set, what I entered, and make sure I got it right.
Can you back up a little bit and just do it again? So I'm at the, the statistics, so we're picking.
You're
mean?
picking mean and median.
Okay, so I'm like doing control and then clicking the two, or what?
So click mean, and then like in that box, scroll down.
Uh-huh.
And when you go to click median, hold down control before you click it.
Okay, all right, sorry.
There's my
And then-
mistake. Okay, I'll do it again on screen. I was just looking for my mistake.
Okay,
Oops, oh, now I deleted that one.
Oh, my goodness.
it's 66.9.
Thank you.
You're
My
welcome.
typical, when I mess up like that, I just like to say curse words. Just say that and you'll feel better. Okay, so you go to stat, summary
Mhm.
stats, columns,
Mhm.
select that column. And then you can just click compute because there's a whole bunch of things already selected and it's got the mean in there and the median in there. Those are naturally picked, but sometimes it's nice to just have the information we need. So what I did is I clicked mean and then I'm scrolling in here. Here's median. Before I click it, I hold down control and then click it. And then you should see mean, median on that right side.
Okay, because that's where I'm confused, because in mine, in the white section on the right, it's already populated. It's got
By
things,
Yes, so let me show you. By default, this is what's going to happen every single time you come in here. There's going to be all of these things pre-populated.
okay,
They are like the typical things that people want. So StatCrunch is just like here they are.
okay,
You can just, if you just click compute, you get this big thing that looks like this, and you just have to find where the mean is and the median is.
okay,
If you want just the mean and the median, click mean and clears everything out but mean. Then scroll down, hold control and click median.
okay, all right, I'm sorry, thank you.
No, I get what I was doing wrong.
When I do that, it pops up saying I have to pick at least one value
So
for
go back to the
select
top
column.
up here. See this box up here? If this is blank, if this
No.
right side is blank, that means you didn't click a column.
Oh, okay.
That's a very common thing. Don't feel bad. That happens all the time. I've done it too. And I'm like, compute. Why won't it compute? Oh, yeah. I forgot to click this thing at the top. It's especially annoying when there's only one variable in there. It's like, come on, StatCrunch. Why? Of course, I'm going to pick that one.
Oops. Okay, so. Oops. Now, you said that the one that you got was wrong, and that's what I got.
Well, I fixed it. So did you get 60.409091?
Yes.
That's the correct answer. My first one was like 62 something.
Okay.
I had like 22.3 point as my 20th value.
So Eric, are we rounding the mean at all?
Great question. If we go to the worksheet, it doesn't say what to
It
do,
doesn't.
right?
Yeah, it does. Says
Does it?
1 decimal.
Okay, it says 1 decimal. So that's what we should do. So when I go back here,
Point.
So it's 60.
It would stay 409,091.
well, 1 decimal place, I guess we could argue about this. Because what are the units? If we go back up here and look, what are they in the worksheet? You see this? Millions of tickets sold. So this isn't 47 tickets were sold for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There were 47 million. So this is really 60.409091 million.
Okay,
But let's not get too complicated. Let's just take this number. Let's round it to 1 decimal place, meaning this is the first decimal place, the 4. The number after it is a 0.
Right.
So we ignored
Right.
everything after it.
So it
Good.
stays a 4.
It stays 4 and that's it. And then,
Oh, okay. We don't write nothing after that.
yes, because we rounded it
Okay.
to the 1 decimal place. And then don't forget to
Okay.
put the word million, because it is 60.4 million. And then these are tickets.
So million tickets.
Nice.
Okay.
Same thing for median. There's nothing to round there. I have heard tell that that it's either Steve or Alana Tucky always demands if it's 1 decimal that you put the 0 there. I don't know if that's true or not. Students will often say all kinds of things, but I don't know. I don't care. You don't need it.
I told them they didn't need it.
You don't need it. So let me get it out of there so you don't think you have to put it in there. It's just a placeholder. Those of you going into nursing, I talked to a nursing instructor once and they're like, please make your students put a 0 in front of
Mhm.
numbers that are decimaled.
I did tell them that.
Yeah, good. So you've already told the story. Yeah, they're
I
like,
did tell-
please.
I said, yeah, if it was a medication that you were given and you just assumed. And the doctor forgot to put a 1 there and yeah.
I'm not going to take off points if you don't put a 0 there, but know that when you get into the nursing area, they're going to want you to keep track of that. And yes, in terms of medications, that could be life or death, definitely. Okay. How would you all like to finish this worksheet?
We got this.
So try it out. Try F. You don't need StatCrunch for anything else on this worksheet, but you do need to keep track of what we said here, what you talked about last night in this overview. And the big thing that we're getting at in the next pieces is which measurement is appropriate, the mean or the median.
Can you minimize that just a little bit? Because I want to take a screenshot of it and save
Oh,
it.
most definitely.
Yeah.
I could even just upload this.
That's good like that for me.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So I'm going to pretend to disappear for a few minutes so you all can talk a little bit and work on, let's see if we can't finish that worksheet. I want you to try the problems first and then we can talk about it. But feel free to talk to each other or ask us questions. I'm also going to get a drink of water. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
You guys see what they're asking you to do in letter F?
I see it and I want to just divide.
You're exactly right.
So that
That word-
it's just that simple.
It is just that simple.
Okay, that's
So
good. to
you're
know.
taking the price. The
Right.
word per in math means to divide. So you're taking the price and dividing it by the number of tickets for each of those movies. And then rounding it.
So the 47 divided by 253. Is that what you're saying?
Nope, make sure you.
Other way
put it in-
around?
Yeah, because it says price.
Yeah. That's what that's what I thought. Okay. That's what I did the first time. Okay.
Sarah, this is 3.1 worksheet number 2. That's right, Will.
When I was in college, there was a cheap theater over in Bering Spring Snow at St. Joe, $2.50. And the popcorn was like $2.
I could beat that one.
Oh yeah, what you got?
At CMU downtown, you could go to movies for $1.
Ooh.
But
No longer. huh?
I won't say how long ago that was.
Oh, sure, sure. That's fair. There you go, Mary. Yeah. Just stream it. For what? $12 a month? You better watch that. It adds up.
My mom ends up getting Hulu on Black Friday to where it's only like less than, I don't think it's $5 throughout the entire year. If you like do whatever Hulu for Black Friday.
That's a good gig.
And
'cause
then you
Hulu
go
just
buy a
went up.
popcorn machine like Will did, and then
That's
you're all
awesome.
set.
That sounds amazing. Sounds like you all got this one done. Nice.
Oh, I did.
This feels wrong to me. I don't know why this feels wrong. 538, is that what you all got?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
It feels wrong because it's so cheap.
Yes, right, right. And that's the average. That's the crazy thing. So that's taking into account, like, I don't know, New York IMAX. I don't know if they are expensive, but are those places where they serve beer at the thing?
IMAX.
Is that IMAX where they serve
I
beer?
think so.
That just seems disastrous. People are crazy enough in movies anyways, right?
So should we use the about sign in this case if we were? Or
So
the, Your-
yes, when you round, anytime you round, that's when it's appropriate to use the about sign. I'm not particularly picky on that. If you look at my calculator, this is technically an about because the calculator rounded to whatever that decimal place is. I could change this to a larger calculator and I could get more decimals, I think. No, I can't. So you're always rounding unless you get a number that, like, here's a number you don't need to round. 3/4, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75 exactly.
okay.
If I change that to 0.8, then you do the little approximate symbol. Good question. Yep. But you don't stress out on whether or not you've got those on there. Have you all had a chance to ponder number 2?
We did 4 like this, just last night.
Oh.
These are tricky, so if you don't get them right away, feel okay.
I know we just did these last night, but I'm looking at it and I'm so confused. And I think it's because the numbers are so close together.
That's a tricky part. So for this first one, what shape would you all say this looks like?
Skewed, right?
You'd right.
Nailed it. What do we know is the relationship between the mean and the median when it's skewed right?
The mean is greater than
Mean
the
is
median.
larger.
Okay. So let's find all of the options below where the mean is larger than the median. Is 4.6 larger than 5?
No.
No. Is 4.5 larger than 4.1?
Yes.
That's a possibility. This one is not larger. This one is. Okay, so right, this now gets the tricky part where you have to go back, I think, to the definition of mean as that balance point for the data. So I'm going to draw the 6.1 on the histogram and you decide, is this a balance point for the data set?
No.
Yeah, too heavy on the left side, right? It's going to look like this. So that means this is not a good option. Let's just double check that 4.5 looks like a good balance point. So I'll draw that in. 4.5 is roughly here. How do we feel about that balancing? Looks better, right? I mean, we could debate that, but so that's the correct answer there. I love this question because it requires you to look at the shape, connect the relationship between the mean and the median with that shape, and then connect where the mean is in the graph and kind of like how it functions and looks. So it's a great kind of put it all together thing. So we do the same thing here. What shape does this graph look like?
It's symmetric.
Symmetric.
Yeah, like it's barely, right? But it's rough, or it's roughly symmetric. Good. Okay, what do we know about the mean and the median?
They're going to be roughly,
Roughly the same.
Nailed it. They're about the same number. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Is 8.1 and 8 close to each other?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would agree. How about 8.5 and 6.5?
No.
No.
Not relative to the others. I mean, on context, maybe, but yeah, I agree. So it's either 1 or 4. So let me start with 4. Here's 6.2 on the graph. Is that balanced?
No. No.
No.
Good, get rid of that one. Let's just make sure that 8.0 is balanced roughly. So if I draw that in there. Yeah, right? Yeah. There we go, we've done it. It's a challenging question because you have to put those 3 concepts together, but they are all related. Anyone still feel lost on that, or have a question on that? I'd love to hear what you think on 3. If you hadn't had a chance, take your chance.
skewed left
I said skewed left as well.
Ooh, why?
because
I
the median is larger than the mean. Or the mean is less than the median.
What the first time you said was correct too. We've been talking about stating the mean first, typically to help. But yeah, perfect. It's skewed left because the mean is less than the median. Or you could say it's skewed left because the median is greater than the median. It's the same thing. But sometimes it's nice to just be consistent. Excellent. Notice, or I'll just mention, when I grade these worksheets, most often I do -1 because this is left blank. Students don't like explaining. I get it. I understand. But this is the explanation right here. It's skewed left because of that. In the math world, when you're explaining something, you're usually just rewriting the definition. Why is this symmetric? Because the mean is about equal to the median. Done. All right, how do we feel about the 2019 Detroit Tigers? Anyone know the approximate salary of the most expensive player?
30 million.
Based on the graph, not on your
30
knowledge.
million.
30 million.
Good. I asked this morning. Anyone know who that is? Any baseball fans? in here?
Unfortunately, it's
Derek
not me.
Jeter.
Oh, Derek Jeter? I don't think he plays for the Tigers.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah,
Is he
someone said
Tigers? Oh,
Miggy
yeah.
this morning, and I didn't know what Miggy was. And then they said Miguel Cabrera. I have heard his name. Cool. We learn things every day. Don't watch this morning's video because then you'll just hear that I repeated exactly what we did this morning. $2,927,738.10 is the mean salary of these men, because it's only men that play on the MLB, right? That number is about right here. Does that look like a balancing point? Yeah, not at all. Cabrera is like destroying the mean salary. So that's what C is asking. Why is the mean not a good measure of a typical? And I stated that earlier. What we're saying here is average or center player salary for this team.
Because of the 30 million being an outlier.
Outlier, yeah.
30 million is an outlier. Excellent. What does the shape of the graph look like?
Skewed.
Skewed to the right.
Right.
That's another excellent thing that says it's skewed right. If you look at these salaries, most of these guys are making under 100,000. They might be making the same amount as a nurse. Now, a nurse has a way more important job. That's my opinion, but I don't know. People need to be entertained. Cool, good. So then we might not know the number of this, but we could say the name of it. What's going to be a better typical salary? Again, think average or center. And I don't need a number, I want a word. Starts with an M and it ends with median.
Median.
Good, good, good. Why do we know that this is going to be a better measure? What's our explanation?
Essentially because the median is the middle.
But why is that the better middle? You're right.
Because we have skewed data.
That's it. Anytime I say, what's the better measure of average? The answer is mean because it's symmetric, or median because it's skewed. And for the skewedness, it doesn't matter whether it's left or right. If it's skewed, the median is the better measure. That's it. And since we know the skew here, we can just say it's skewed right. I mean, typically when you know it's skewed, you actually know which direction it's skewed because you looked at a graph or you looked at the mean and the median. Awesome. How's everyone doing here? Are you feeling good? I know maybe we should have started with this and then done StatCrunch, but we
Yeah, that
made
would
it,
have helped a lot.
right? Let's get your confidence up and then destroy it versus
Yes, yes.
destroy it and then rebuild it. I don't know.
Can you just pull up to the 3.1 worksheet number 1? So you guys, this is your worksheet for Eric. This is the one that you need to do for me, which you can now, this one was easier. So we did the harder one with you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to StatCrunch and you're going to answer these questions by typing your data, which you now know how to do, into StatCrunch to find those things. Now you're not going to need StatCrunch for every single one of those questions, but you can use it for most of them. So what I'd like you guys to do, try doing this before tomorrow night so that we can check your answers. Okay? The best way for you guys to do this is for you to do it. And we have enough to do doing notes tomorrow. So I'm not gonna have a lot of time to type these in and stuff. So you guys go ahead and do it and we can check. And make sure you're doing that. And then the second page is pretty simple because they already gave us, I shouldn't say simple, right? We're not supposed to say that, right, Eric? Bad
Right.
me.
That's right.
But I think all the stuff we just talked about, you'll be able to answer these pretty
This
easily.
one might be tricky. Mode.
You
How do y'all
should
feel
make
about
it
mode?
easier.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is kind of hard to find. Actually, you guys, I think this one is kind of hard to count the mode. They do know that mode is the tallest bar. We went
Oh,
over
okay.
that.
Okay.
But I think it's hard just to find it,
Oh, yeah.
to count these. I think it's supposed to be, is that supposed to be 7, I think?
Is this 5? Oh, what's that number? Oh, yeah, probably 5,
7,
I think
Yeah,
it's 7 days.
7.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, just reading this is kind of hard. That scaling on those is really kind of hard to read.
5, 6, 7. How is it?
So the left side of the bar
Oh,
is the
okay.
number. I think
Okay.
that's the part that helps. And then maybe if we zoom in 1,000 times. So this would be 6. Here's 7. Here's 8. Wait,
Okay.
9, 10. Yeah. And so the highest bar was this one, which is the 7. Yeah. Nice. Good reading, everyone. Cool. Okay. So we got 6 minutes of class left. Let's just quick summarize what you're turning in for 133 because that's been such a mess for so long. I don't know if did I apologize to you all for being such a mess? Sorry. I disappeared this weekend and my home life is hopefully getting a little more stable here.
I think we finished the notes. We just went over, but we did finish the notes. Did we not finish 3.1?
We did.
We did.
Yeah, we finished
We finished it,
3.1.
but we were rushing, but we did finish
Yeah,
it.
we
rushed
went
through it.
pretty
It's okay,
fast there, and
guys.
I know we did go over. So if you didn't get the last,
It was fast
part-
even for Eric.
I know I was even faster than Eric. That is really fast.
That's hard to do. Ooh. So on the 11th, which is Sunday, what I have you turning in is these 2 projects that we did in class. We moved the review sheet to Monday, this worksheet that we just completed here. That's what I have you turning in. Okay.
And then I have a question, but maybe I shouldn't ask it here because this is 133, but what about 2.3 worksheet number 1? We never went over that and
No. So yeah, you guys go ahead and take a look at, he can, I
Oh, I
think
can
if you
go
go
there.
back to your thing, you can pull that up, Eric.
Oh.
2.3 worksheet 1. Yeah, it was really important that he goes over those projects tonight. So you guys, the main thing and from this 2.3 worksheet number 1 that I want you to do is number 2. Even if this is what I really want you to turn in is number 2, which you should know how to do this. So again, if you want to take a look at this before tomorrow night, you know how to find midpoints. We've done all of those columns before. You should know how to find those.
What page is that?
This
Great
is
question.
page,
483.
there you go, 483.
I feel comfortable with page 2. What I was wondering was when you looked at the graph, question number B, consider the trend. What do you notice about the distance between the 2 lines? And I wrote they're fairly equal because it seemed to me like they were going up pretty consistently. And then for the what does this tell us about income disparity? I said that the disparity is consistent because it seems like it's just consistently following along. Now, I don't know if that's right or not.
I wouldn't disagree too much. It is, the distance is getting a little bit bigger the further out we go. Like if you look at the length of this line up and down versus the length of this line up and down, they are
Right.
different. But I wouldn't disagree that it's not like wildly, like it's fairly consistently disparate, right? And it's just getting a little bit worse over time. It's not drastically. Although we could talk about what was this number? What did you calculate this distance was here? Is it roughly 20,000?
25,000. Oh, wait, no,
25.
excuse me. The absolute value, the difference was 17,500.
Yeah, so 17,000, you think about that?
17,500.
That's
That's
a
a lot.
lot of money. That's a
That's a
huge
lot of-
difference.
That's a lot.
For some people, that's an entire salary
Yeah.
on the lower end of the spectrum. But yes, I agree. That's kind of what you're seeing. Like the trend is that we're increasing for these incomes, these per capita incomes. Yeah, that's good.
Brianna, the answer to this is I want you to try to go through this yourself first. I will answer any questions, but we're not gonna go through it.
For 2.3 worksheet 1 and 2, you want us to
Nope.
work,
Nope, just one, 2.3 worksheet 1.
okay, you want us to do that on our own?
Yes, please.
And then we turn it in when?
Well, you can come with questions. So if you want, I can, answer any questions tomorrow on it. But yes, so that is going to be turned into me and the 3.1 worksheet number 1.
You want us to do that on our own as well?
You guys can do it.
3.1 worksheet 1,
So that
is
one
that,
and
We can do it. I feel good about this.
Yeah, you guys can do it.
And
You
don't
guys, I
forget-
broke down. I mean,
Yeah,
I completely
And
broke
like
down.
I said,
I'm back.
we can go over like this 3.1 worksheet 1. It's exactly like what you were just doing with Eric. It's actually easier. And we did this pretty much the second page just together right now. You can do it.
but 3.1 worksheet 1 and 2.3 worksheet 1.
Yep.
We should, okay, I just wanted to make sure I knew what we were doing.
Yep. And I'll
Okay.
go over it tomorrow. Like I'll tell you like what he did. I'll go over and make sure that you know what you should be turning in.
Okay,
don't forget you can show up tomorrow 8:30, 11, but I get the feeling that you all work and that's not helpful. Okay.
well, my
Uh,
boss might not like it very well.
I
I
just
should,
shut my door, but
I'm working. Come on. I should probably see if I can find another time. Would anyone be interested in Sunday office hours? Or tutoring hours?
I'm
depends
not
what
opposed
time.
to it.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, but
Yeah.
They might not need it right now, but they might need it a little
In the
later.
future, well, we can, like, I'm willing to look at that. I did these, I know that my office hours are terrible, but I did it because I knew what my life was going to be like, and that was consistent and helpful. Please know you can email me and say, I need to meet to talk about things, please, and your tutoring hours don't work. And I'm happy to set up individual times. So if you want to meet on a Friday night and I'm available, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know.
Okay.
I think we're done. I will hang out and answer whatever questions anyone needs. If you feel good and are happy to leave, take off. And have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. You all
I'll
will
see you tomorrow.
Cindy tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night. Great
Night.
work. Way to make it through, everyone.
Night, ho.
So I
Go
have
ahead.
a question back to the project.
Yeah.